The Cache Valley Media Group's countdown of the top 25 Aggie football players of 2023. And at number 22 on our list is Micah Davis, a wide receiver. Micah has transferred to Utah State from Iowa Western Junior College, where he led the nation in punt returns. But again, he's 5'11", 185, a junior, originally from Atlanta, Georgia. Wide receiver and kick returner Micah Davis in our list at number 22.
Now, before he was at Iowa Western, he was at the Air Force Academy. Aggie fans might remember the name because he had a great game against Utah State a few years ago. But one of the things that really stand out to me about Micah Davis is his versatility. As you heard Al say, he was one of the top punt return guys in the country, but he also carried the ball quite a bit for Iowa Western. I guess not quite a bit, just a handful of times, 10 times, 117 yards. But he was one of the leading running backs for Air Force at different stretches of the season when he was with them. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball out of the backfield, he can be a dynamic player in a lot of different ways, and he's going to be able to. The Aggies now can utilize his services instead of having it been done to them on the other side of the field.
Yeah, you mentioned versatility. Just, at Iowa Western, you look at all the different kinds of way that he touched the ball. 29 punt returns, 11 kickoff returns, 33 receptions, 10 carries. So many different ways that he can impact the game. Now, granted, the Aggies kind of have a kick returner in Terrell Vaughn, but, you usually have two guys out there. So you might see Micah Davis on the kick return team, even if Terrell Vaughn is the guy. You might see Micah Davis, put out a few returns. Make it really awkward for teams kicking off. Who do I kick it to?
Yeah, that's right. Pick your poison.
But then, obviously catching passes. At Air Force, you don't really catch passes at Air Force. But he did, a fair few times, made some big plays. Most notably against Utah State. That was his biggest game receiving. But then, of course, at Air Force, you're going to run the ball, so he did. At Iowa Western, he was more of a receiver than a runner, but he was still a runner. And I think you'll see that here at Utah State. You saw Terrell Vaughn take on that versatile role. Micah Davis can kind of do the same thing. And so I think it really gives Utah State some depth, behind Terrell Vaughn. Terrell Vaughn isn't just the only guy who can be versatile. You have another guy that can be versatile. And that can be a nightmare. Keep defensive coordinators up at night if both of these guys end up breaking out and being these, really versatile, multiple guys that defensive coordinators wouldn't know how to guard them because one play they're, taking the top off the defense, and the other time they're doing read options with them or fly sweeps or whatnot. So there's a lot of ways that Micah Davis could be dangerous for this team.
Right, is another weapon for the disposal for Utah State, whether on special teams, whether on offense, whether as a wide receiver or as a running back. He's very versatile, can do a lot of different things, which he has showcased at different places along the way, getting to Utah State. 5'11", 185 pounds. It's good size for what he can do, and that's going to pose some interesting matchup problems where he can line up sometimes as a wide receiver. Maybe not so much as a running back per se, but still decent size and ability to get to where he wants to on the field.
Yeah, there were times where Utah, and this is why you compare him to Terrell Vaughn in some cases, because there were times Vaughn would line up in the backfield. They have a shotgun. They'd have running back on one side and Terrell Vaughn on the other side, and they'd run a handful of plays out of that. You might see Micah Davis in that position. Like I said, there's a million and one ways you can use Micah Davis. Just you're limited by your imagination.
Yes. So excited to see what he brings in an Aggie uniform. Definitely familiar with playing in the Mountain West, playing at this level, and getting him to Logan is going to be a real benefit for Utah State on the offense, and that's why he comes in at number 22 on our list of top 25 Aggies for 2023, wearing number 4 on his jersey.